Morning, my dear students. Welcome to our zoology online class. Dear students, hope you are very happy and hope you are studying every day's portion. Okay, dear students, already we have completed the fifth chapter. Okay, our fifth chapter is digestion. Okay, digestive system. We studied about the digestive system, functions of digestive system, disorders of digestive system. So all these topics we have completed in the fifth chapter. So today we are going to start a new lesson. Our lesson's name is respiration. Okay, our lesson's name is respiration. So dear students, this lesson also very important for 5 mark question, 3 mark questions, 2 mark questions and many 1 mark questions also there. So listen the classes very carefully. Okay dear students, now we are moving to the lesson. So first we are going to study about the definition for the word respiration. Okay, what is meant by respiration? Here, respiration meaning the process of exchanging the carbon dioxide and oxygen between the atmosphere and body cells. Okay, so atmosphere means outside environment is called atmosphere and inner side our body is made up of many cells. Okay, so between the atmosphere and the body cells, gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen, both the gases are exchanging. This process is called respiration. This process is called respiration. Because our cells need more amount of oxygen to break down the nutrients. Okay, so the nutrients which are present inside the cells are break down to release the energy. For this purpose, more amount of oxygen is needed. Understand of you? So the meaning of this word respiration is the process of exchanging the carbon dioxide and oxygen between the environment and body cells is called respiration. Understand of you? Then, yes students, so first we completed the definition for the word respiration. Then we are going to study about the functions of our respiratory system. Our respiratory system performing many functions inside our body. So now we are going to study about all these functions one by one. The first function is exchanging the carbon dioxide and oxygen between the outer environment and blood. Okay, so blood will be carrying the carbon dioxide and oxygen to the cells and from the cells to the lungs. Understand of you? So the first function is exchanging the carbon dioxide and oxygen between the outer environment and blood. This is the first function of the respiratory system. Then the second function is maintain a homeostatic pH. Okay, homeostatic pH in our body. Homeostatic means constant. Okay, that means maintaining a constant pH inside our body. So this is second functions of our respiratory system. Then the third function is our respiratory systems only protecting the inhaled pathogens and pollutants. So when we respire or when we inhale the gases from the outer environment, some microorganisms, some unknowingly some microorganisms and some unwanted pollutants are also entering inside our respiratory system. So from these pollutants and from these microorganisms, our body is protected by our respiratory system. So this is the third functions of our respiratory system. Okay, then the fourth function is maintaining the vocal cord for the normal communication. Okay, vocal cord means here only a part is there, an organ is there, it is otherwise called voice box. Okay, so this organ is also comes under our respiratory system. So this organ is very, very important for the normal communication. So this is the fourth function. Okay, maintaining the vocal cord for the normal communication. This is the fourth functions of our respiratory system. Then the last function, fifth functions of our respiratory system is removing the heat produced during the cellular respiration. Okay, when the cells are break down the oxygen molecule, break down the nutrients, more amount of energy is placed and some amount of heat also produced. So that heat is removed from the body with the help of only our respiratory system. Understand my dear friends? So now we have completed or we have studied 5 important functions of our respiratory system. Okay, first one is exchanging the carbon dioxide and oxygen between the atmosphere and blood. Second one is maintaining a homeostatic pH. Okay, maintaining the homeostatic pH. This is the second function. Then third function is protecting our body from the inhaled pathogens and pollutants. Then the fourth one is maintaining the vocal cord for normal communication. And the last one is remove the heat produced by the cellular respiration. Hope you are understood. This is a very important 3 mark question. Functions of respiratory system is a 3 mark question. Okay. Then next we are going to study about the respiratory organs in different organisms. Okay. The next point is the respiratory organs in different organisms. Okay, see, based on the habitat means living place. Okay, based on the habitat and based on the level of organization, the organisms are using different types of respiratory organs. Okay, the organisms are using different types of respiratory organs. Actually, the amount of dissolved oxygen in the air is very high than the amount of oxygen present in the water. Okay, so inside the air the amount of oxygen is very high, and inside the water the amount of oxygen is very low. So the aquatic organism breathing very fastly than the terrestrial organisms. Okay, aquatic organisms meaning water living organisms. So the water living organisms breathing very fastly than the land living organisms or terrestrial organisms. Understand have you? So based on the habitat or based on the living place and based on the level of organization, different organisms using different types of organs for the respiration purpose. Understand have you? So now we are going to study about some examples. See, first, some organisms are using their body surface for respiration purpose. Example, the sponges, okay, flatworm. These organisms are using their body surface for their respiration. So in these organisms, the body surface only acting as a respiratory organ. Understand you? Then second one is earthworm. Okay, you all know the outer surface. That means the skin region of the earthworm is moist condition. Okay, so this moist skin is acting as a respiratory organ in the earthworm's body, in the body of the earthworm. Understand a few? Then in some insect, okay, not in some insect, maximum insect, tracheal tube is used as a respiratory organ. So tracheal tube is a respiratory organ present in the body of the insect. Okay, body of the insect. Then the fishes, okay, fishes and the aquatic arthropods. So these organisms are always living inside the water, so they are using gills. They are using gills. So the gills are the respiratory organs present in the body of the aquatic organisms. Okay. Then the mammals, example human beings. Okay, in mammals, birds, and also in the amphibians body, lungs, well-developed lungs is acting as a respiratory organ. Okay, then frog can live in both water and land. You all know that. So they are using, the frog species are using their skin, lungs, and buccopharynx. Okay, buccopharynx means pharynx and buccal cavity both are joining together, and this organ is called buccopharynx. So the buccopharynx and the lungs, the buccopharynx, lungs, and the skin. So these three organs are used as a respiratory organ in the body of the frog. Understand a few? So dear students, now we have completed some examples for different types of respiratory organs present in different types of organisms. Hope you are understood all these points. Then next we are going to study about the structure of human respiratory system, structure of our respiratory system. So first we are going to study about organs of our respiratory system. Okay, the human beings, the respiratory system of the human body is made up of many organs. Okay, now I say all the organs names present in our respiratory system, so listen very carefully. The first organ is external nostrils. Okay, external nostrils is the first organ. Then nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, okay, pharynx, larynx, trachea, okay, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, lungs, and alveoli. Okay, nasal cavity. Okay, nasal, so first external nostrils, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, then lungs, and finally alveoli. So these are some of the organs or parts present in the human respiratory system. Okay, in the human respiratory system. Okay, so hope you have understood all the organs of our respiratory system. Then all these organs are divided into two zones. Okay, the first zone is called conducting zone and the second zone is called respiratory zone. Okay, so the organs of our respiratory system is divided into two zones. The first zone is called conducting zone and the second zone is called respiratory zone. Here conducting zone means from the external nostrils, bronchioles. What are the organs or the parts present in between the external nostrils to bronchioles? Okay, so these organs, all these organs are called conducting zone, comes under conducting zone. Understand you? Then the alveoli and the duct connected with this alveoli comes under the respiratory zone. Okay, so nostrils, from nostrils to bronchioles, all the organs present in between the nostrils and bronchioles comes under conducting zone, and the alveoli and the ducts connected with this alveoli comes under this respiratory zone. So hope you are understood all the points about these two zones, dear students. Then next, the passage of air, how the external or the air present in the outer environment is passing and reaching to our respiratory system. See, first the air is entering inside our respiratory system through the nostrils, through the external nostrils. Okay, you all know inside the external nostrils more amount of hairs and presence. Okay, more amount of hairs and mucous membrane also present. So these hairs and mucous membrane filter the dust particles which are present in the inhaling air. So when the air is entering inside the body, automatically the dust particles present in the air are also entering inside our respiratory system. So these dust particles are removed by the hairs and mucous membrane present in the external nostrils. Okay, from the external nostrils, this external nostrils is opened into nasal chamber or nasal cavity. Okay, then the nasal cavity is opened inside the nasopharynx. Nasal cavity or the nasal chamber is opened inside the nasopharynx. Then this nasopharynx is opened inside the trachea through another one organ. Name of this organ is called glottis. So glottis is one of the organ of the larynx. Glottis is the organ of the or parts of the larynx. So through this glottis only the nasopharynx is opened inside the trachea. Understand? Then the trachea, from the trachea is opened inside the bronchi. Then the bronchs are opened inside the bronchioles. Okay. Then the bronchioles are opened inside the alveoli. Understand? So the air present inside the outer environment is enter inside the respiratory system through the external nostrils, and finally it is reaching inside the alveoli. Okay, alveoli present inside the lungs. Hope you are understood this one. See, the trachea region, bronchial region and bronchioles regions. These regions consist of more amount of ciliated epithelial tissues. Ciliated epithelial tissues. So these ciliated epithelial cell tissues are also used to remove the unwanted particles like dust. Okay, so the ciliated epithelial tissue present in the trachea, bronchi and bronchioles is used to remove the dust particles, because these regions also contain these ciliated epithelial tissues also secreting mucus. Okay, then the mucous membrane present inside the respiratory system also consists of more amount of goblet cells. These goblet cells also secreting mucus. Okay, so the mucus present inside the respiratory system is filtering or trapping the unwanted particles or trapping the dust particles. So hope you understood this point. So from the nasopharynx, the respiratory system is, so the nasopharynx is opened inside the trachea through the glottis of larynx. In the trachea region, more amount of ciliated epithelial tissues are there. These tissues are secreting mucus, and moreover this region contains mucous membrane. This mucosa membrane also consists of more amount of goblet cells. These goblet cells also producing mucus. So these mucus are used to remove the dust particles, and this mucus contains more amount of glycoproteins. So dear students, hope you all understood all this point. Then next point, see, the microorganisms and the dust particles which are entered inside the respiratory system is passed to upward direction, and finally it is released in the gillet region during normal swallowing. Okay, so the dust particles and the microorganism present in our respiratory system is passing upward, passing to top region, and it is finally released inside the gillet region. Understand? Then in this region, one more part is there. Name of this part is called epiglottis. This epiglottis is a small cap-like structure or flap-like structure used to prevent the entry of food into the larynx. Okay, so the epiglottis is a small cap or flap-like structure present over the glottis region. And the function of this epiglottis is prevent the entry of food inside the larynx region. Understand of you? So dear students, hope you are understood up to these points. Then next we are going to study about trachea. See here I have drawn a diagram. So just imagine this part is called trachea. Okay. So this trachea is arising from this region and it is extended up to the fifth thoracic vertebrae. Okay. Thoracic meaning chest region. Okay. So it is extended up to the middle region of the thoracic cavity. Understand of you? And this trachea is a semi-flexible tube-like structure. Semi-flexible tube-like structure, and it is supported or made up of cartilaginous rings. Okay, so we can see many ring-shaped structure inside this trachea. So the outer surface of the trachea is made up of ring-shaped, okay, cartilaginous rings. Understand of you? And these cartilaginous rings only giving support to stand straight without collapse. Understand you? So you are understood all these points. Then this trachea is in the posterior end. The trachea is divided into two branches. Okay, and they are called right and left branch. So one is the right branch and the second one is left branch. These two branches are opened inside the lungs. Okay, right and left branches are opened inside the lungs. Understand you? Then these two branches, right and left branches, are entering inside the lungs. Then inside the lungs, these two branches are again divided into secondary and tertiary branches. Secondary and tertiary branches. Then the secondary and tertiary branches are again divided into terminal and respiratory branchioles. Okay, so just imagine the branch. Then the secondary and tertiary branch, and next what is a terminal and respiratory branch. So dear students, once again repeat. See, the posterior end of the trachea is divided into right and left branches. These two branches are entering inside the right lungs and left lungs. Okay, after entering inside the lungs, the branches are again divided into branchioles. Okay, secondary and tertiary branchioles. The secondary and tertiary branchioles are again divided into terminal and respiratory branchioles. Terminal and respiratory branchioles. Okay, hope you are understood the structure about this trachea. Then next branch. Actually, this branch is made up of C-shaped cartilage plates. Okay, C-shaped cartilage plate. So this C-shaped cartilage plates also used to avoid collapse. Okay, because of the presence of this C-shaped cartilage plate only, the branch is also not collapsing. Okay, not collapsing. Understand? So when the air is moving inside the lungs in high pressure, sometimes some problem, then the bronchial regions may go to collapse. Okay, so to avoid this collapse only, this bronchial region is made up of C-shaped cartilage plate. Understand a few? Then next one is bronchioles. Okay, finally we are going to study about the bronchioles. In these bronchioles, the cartilaginous rings are absent. No cartilages present. Understand a few? So cartilages are completely absent in these bronchioles, but they have high rigidity, high strength. Okay, bronchioles have high rigidity, and outer surface of the bronchioles are covered or surrounded with smooth muscles. The surface of the bronchioles are surrounded with smooth muscles. Understand a few? Understand? So dear students, now we have completed up to these bronchioles. So in today's class we have completed the definition for the word respiration, functions of our respiratory system, different types of respiratory organs present in different organisms. Then we studied about the human respiratory system. Okay, the organs of our human respiratory system. Understand you? So up to these bronchioles today we have completed. Dear students, we can continue the next organ. The next organ is called alveoli. So next class we will study about this alveoli. Okay. So hope you all enjoyed today's class and try to complete all these topics today itself. Okay. Thank you. We will meet in the next class.